Morning, and thanks for your time. Do you support this call, firstly?
Yes, we support the call for government to do everything in its power to make sure that learners who are facing difficulties of, not having the proper documentation, particularly immigrants in some of the schools across the country, not be affected by the difficulties that are being faced by their parents who are now trying to apply for documents at the Home Affairs level.
So give us an idea, Hendrick, of where these pupils stand now, where these children actually stand, or what is happening with them when they go to these illegal, unregistered schools. Just how has this compromised them?
Well, we are talking here about learners who are already in the system. And these learners have parents who are coming from different countries. And, I'm sure you know that from time to time, immigrants are expected to apply for permits, which allows them at some time to be in the country up until a certain point, after which they must go back and renew their permits. Now, we have had calls, we have received calls as an organization from a wide range of schools where principals are threatening to deport, to collaborate with Home Affairs to deport learners whose parents have not yet submitted the necessary permits. And we are saying that these learners, it is not their fault. They should be allowed to carry on to study, because if that does not happen, we already face issues of illegal schools, unregistered schools. So if that does not happen, we're actually, perpetuating the mushrooming of these unregistered schools, because these learners will end up going there instead of attending in properly registered schools with the department.
Well, in order for this to happen, Hendrick, I would imagine that we would have to get people coming forward to say, my child is undocumented, they are going to the school, saying I still have to get my permit sorted out, which leads to the danger of them being sent back home. How successful do you think it will be? That would have to form part of the process, to come and identify yourself, I would think, and say, listen, this is the problem, I'm one of them. How do we get the different departments to work together so that such parents, such children are not afraid of coming forward and are afraid of being sent back home?
Yeah, we think in this instance the Department of Basic Education should be the one taking a lead, because they are in charge of the schools. They should make it a bit easier and relax some of these policies a little bit, so that illegal immigrants can be able to, or those who do not yet have their documents, can be able to approach the department without any problem. Remember, what happens is that in the beginning of every year, parents bring their children to schools, and most schools accept them on condition that documents will come at a later stage. And some of them face difficulties because Home Affairs often takes too long to process their applications. So we are saying that the department in this case should be the one that takes a lead and ensure that we accommodate our learners who come from different countries in the same way that our leaders were taken care of during the anti-apartheid struggle.
Now, you know that you're probably going to get those who say we barely have place for our own, for South African children, and that's going to be part of the argument for South African children who can't find a place in a classroom legitimately. Why then should we be trying to accommodate those who are here illegally, and not even South Africa?
Well, South Africa is a beacon of hope for the continent. And yes, we know that there are those who will always complain, not only in the school environment, but also within the job market. There will always be those who are a bit afraid of foreigners who will say they are taking our space in the jobs. It happens also in the schools. They will say that, they are taking our space, we want our kids to be there. But we, as an organization, we call upon the South Africans at large to be very sensitive to the needs of, especially these learners who it is not their fault that they find themselves in difficult situations. Remember, some of them are coming from countries which are torn apart by wars. And we say that in as much as we want our fellow South Africans to also have space, let us share the little resources that we have and share them with the foreigners.
Okay, it will be interesting to see how this pans out, Hendrick. Thank you very much for your time. That's education activist Hendrick Makaneta with us on Morning News today. We're back after the break.